For story time today, we meet Jesus and he does a great miracle. It's called Wedding and Wine. But first, let me get Dave to join us. So let me call him up. Dave, computer, I should say. Oh, my computer's not called Dave. Computer, call Dave. Hello, Dave.
You all right?
You're right.
I have a question.
What's that?
My agent said I'm meeting Jesus, but I haven't brushed my hair.
Oh, you look absolutely fine with your orange hair
Oh,
and your cool tag.
it's orange, is it? I thought it was black. I don't see colour.
Don't you? Well, it's definitely orange.
My agent said we're meeting Jesus in the store, and I was a bit worried.
Well, we're meeting him, but not like in it's like virtually. Like, we're going to tell the story about what happened when Jesus was on earth.
Oh, good.
And
All right,
so-
then.
yeah,
I wasn't ready for that.
It was actually Jesus' first miracle. It's very exciting. So Jesus and his disciples were invited to a wedding.
I've got a question.
Yeah,
If he was a lad,
yeah.
do you have a dog?
I don't know. You know, you always ask me this question, and I don't know much about dogs in the Bible, to be
I
honest.
think about dogs quite a lot for some
Do
reason.
you? Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't mention a dog here, but that doesn't mean to say he wasn't there.
I don't see Jesus with a gerbil, but I do see him with a dog.
You do see, okay. So Jesus and his disciples were invited to a wedding, a celebration, and so off they went.
Was pets allowed?
I don't know, actually. Don't mention the pets
I don't
again.
know much about this story, do you?
Well, no, but I'm going to stick to the main thing, which is Jesus going to this wedding, and his mother was there.
Who was getting
Mary.
married?
Well, we don't know. We don't know who it was. We just go to this wedding, and Jesus is there. That's the most important person in this story.
Was it a big wedding?
I think weddings were very big in Israel, and still are, to be fair. It was
Was there
a
a
big
party?
celebration, big party.
They have
Absolutely.
an organ for the music.
There would have been music.
Pipe
and
organ?
lots of food, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that was a bit too early for. I don't know what instruments they would have
Was
had.
it a summer wedding?
It was a big wedding, lots of music, lots
In
of
the
food.
winter?
Well, it was quite hot back in that country. Don't forget. So
Do you know anything about this story? Because so far you don't seem to know much.
listen, right? I'll tell you about it. So Jesus is at this wedding, and his mum's there. And
I'm a bit playful today.
You're very playful.
Oh,
Well,
I've
you'll
been
know.
out for my walk.
Oh dear. Well, let's get on with this story then. So you'll never guess what happened. They ran out of wine. Now that is a big deal because wine is important at a wedding.
That ain't good, that.
No, it's
I
not.
don't drink wine, no.
No,
Makes me
that's
a cup.
fine.
Makes me sneeze.
No, yeah, well,
Sneezing dogs in bad.
yeah, absolutely. Well, they ran out completely, which was really bad. And of course, they didn't have like supermarkets. They couldn't go down to the corner shop or the supermarket back then. That was it. They
Same
were
day
stuck.
delivery.
Yeah, they haven't got things like that going
No.
on. So they were a bit stuck. So Mary, the mother of Jesus, said, "Oh, can you do something, Jesus? Because she knows her son. And he knows he can do really clever things and
How old
and
was
miracles."
Jesus?
Well, I think he might have been in his 30s by then. He was sort of grown up, a bit older, and I think he just started his ministry, so he's probably about 30.
All right, then.
And so he said to his mum, no, I'm not, it's not for me to get involved, and, my time isn't right yet. So he's like, okay, fine. So what Mary
I've got a
said,
question.
What's that?
I'm a bit confused.
What?
But Mary said to do something and Jesus, they do it.
No, she asked him, like, what can we do about this? Was just asking him for a solution. Because I think, she'd have probably asked him a lot in his life, what can we do about this, that and the other?
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and so she was obviously involved with the wedding and make sure it was going well. And so she just naturally said to her son, look, what can we do about it? And he said, look, it's not really my problem and it's not my time. But then Mary said to the servants, do whatever Jesus says, and left it at that. And then Jesus said to the servants, right, get those six stone jars.
Is that like 3?
There's two sets of three, yeah, and they usually use them for cleansing, like for religious purposes. He says, get those stone jars that were lying
What's
around.
cleansing for religious purposes? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and you get clean, just so you're supposed to get clean and wash yourself and stuff like that. Well, this was special washing,
Like a shower.
for to be clean for God. So these stone sort of jars were hanging around, and Jesus said, completely fill these 6 jars with water. Yeah.
Why was them hanging on a wall?
They're just hanging around. Okay, maybe they weren't hanging; they were just like around in the room.
Just asking for a friend.
And each jar had about 20 to 30 gallons. So I think
What's a gallon?
I think I've got this right. A gallon is about 4.5 litres.
What's a litre?
It's a big bottle of like fizzy pop. So there's a lot of water.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That was 2 litres.
Yeah, possibly actually. Well, 1 litre pop bottle, but yeah, big bottle. You'd have 2 litres. So there's a lot of water, is what we're saying, isn't there? Lots of water in there, and there was 6 jugs full of water.
Enough to go full doggy paddle.
So the servants did exactly what Jesus said, filled up these jars, and then Jesus said, take some of this water out to like what they call the master of ceremony. So the guy in charge of making sure the wedding goes well.
What was his name? I might know him.
Bob.
I know a Bob.
Do you know a Bob, do you?
But he's from Wales.
So it goes to him. It goes to this guy, and he gets to taste what was this water. But Jesus had
Was it
turned
clean water?
Well, Jesus had turned it into wine.
You are?
Yeah. He turned the water into wine because they needed wine.
You
and
are?
that's what he did. Exactly. He just turned it just like that.
How did you do that?
I don't know. It was a miracle.
You sure you know this story? Don't seem to know much, do you?
So the guy went, whoa, this is amazing wine. He tasted it. And so we went to the bridegroom.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Was it like watercolour? Or was it like red?
It was absolutely fantastic, amazing wine.
Was it red wine or white? All of that
It was dead
rosy
red.
stuff?
No, it was red wine, quality, like it had been from some really amazing vineyard.
Fair enough.
And the guy went, wow, how come normally when you go to a wedding, you have all the best wine first, and then when everyone's had a bit more to drink, they put the less good wine in, less quality.
Why is that?
Because people aren't perhaps so bothered once they've got into the party and they're happy and everything. They're not bothered. But so he was really surprised that, hang on a minute, you're bringing out the best wine, like it's even better wine. He couldn't believe it. He thought it was quite unusual. Of course, Jesus had created from water this amazing wine. I'm not very good at wines, but a top quality, really expensive wine.
He was a clever chap, that Jesus.
Amazing, wasn't it?
Ma.
What do you think of that story then?
Bit puzzled.
Why?
How did he do it?
How did he? I know, it's a miracle, isn't it?
I know it was a miracle, but how did he do it?
Well, you'll need to ask him, won't you? But I don't know.
Think he'd tell me?
Because it's impossible, isn't it? It's impossible to turn water into wine. You just can't do that.
He just said he did.
But he is the God of the impossible. That's the amazing thing about Jesus, isn't it?
And you, made that make sense for me. How does he do what's impossible? Impossible you can't do, but he can.
Well, we can't do the impossible, but God can. And Jesus did.
How does he do it?
I just don't know, but he did it. Isn't that amazing that he went to a wedding and he made wine?
It's awesome.
I just think it's great.
Just want to know the chemicals he used.
You want to do it yourself, do you?
Well, it'd look good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? If we could all do that, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Just a bit amazed, really. It don't make much sense.
Yeah, well, it's great. It's fantastic. So, thank you.
And that was his first miracle.
It was brilliant.
At a party.
At a party. Yeah.
So his first miracle was making wine at a party.
Yeah. You're thrown by this, aren't you?
A little bit, Does that mean Jesus liked parties?
Well, yeah, he was sociable, wasn't he? He was there at the party and being
He
sociable.
was always going for people's houses for food, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was really friendly, really went to see people and made people happy. So what do you think of that?
I like that Jesus chap.
He's great, isn't he?
He's good.
Oh, well, thank you for joining me, Dave, and we'll see you next time, yeah?
Ah,
Bye for now.
a bit.
And that was story time.